Welcome to Mind Balance Yoga. I'm Dr. Sarah Morrow. I'm a child psychologist, and I teach therapeutic yoga with the intention in these classes bringing together the science and knowledge from Western psychology and research and the wisdom of Eastern yoga philosophy. These two fields really complementing each other on a path towards well-being and resilience. And because we've been here in this health crisis and trying to stay home and stay safe, I'm live streaming here from my basement just as a way to continue our yoga community coming together at Mind Balance Yoga, and of course to make these recordings available just so more people have time and opportunity for self-care. So each class I teach has a topic where I'll go through some information before we move into our yoga practice. I really encourage people to stretch and warm up their bodies and just kind of go inward as you listen to the content or thought for the day. So today's class will be talking about relationships and this foundational skill to support healthy relationships of interpersonal mindfulness. Of course, most of what we concentrate on, or the intention in therapeutic yoga, is to practice mindful awareness, being aware of sensations in the body, being aware of our breath, thoughts in the mind, emotional energy in the body, and from awareness, moving ourselves towards a better state of mind, a deeper, more regulated breath, a more relaxed and content body and posture. So in relationship, we really benefit and have healthier, more sustainable relationships over time if we can bring awareness into our interactions with others. We really, truly need each other. We are very much social as a species. We thrive at our best when we have community and strong, healthy relationships around us. We really didn't survive well solo, being on our own out in the world. And we, as humans, have become resilient and thrived as a species because of how we've worked together collaboratively. So we do know that loneliness is really detrimental to our health. When we feel lonely in life, we see associations towards increased dementia and Alzheimer's, higher rates of addiction, reduced immune system function, and even a shorter lifespan. And we also know that our gene expression changes when we feel loneliness. Part of our social connectedness regulates whether or not our genes increase or decrease systemic inflammation. This is a field we call sociogenomics, the way that our social relationships impact our gene expression. So your nervous system is very much wired towards recognizing what's happening in the social world around you and being able to judge friend from foe, who's here in a friendly, safe way to help me and support me, and who do I need to be on guard that might be more of a risk or a threat to me. So we have all of these nerves throughout the body, kind of our five senses: our eyes, our ears, our nose, our mouth, facial expressions, and even our hands with touch. And all of these senses are always giving us important information about the world around us, being able to judge how things are going in interaction with another human being. We know that the social nervous system is probably our most effective and quick way to relieve stress. And if you think about having been in a tough place and getting a really sustained, loving hug from somebody, being able to have a conversation with somebody who can offer you loving gaze, a nice smile, nice reflective listening, how much that comforts us, how much it feels good to be seen and heard and understood and supported and taken care of by another person. And so a lot of our body is wired towards seeking out connection and then also being able to judge when connections are beneficial or threatening to us. And this time in history is so strange because we are separated from our typical community activities. We're in much more isolation. We're not even able to be with our friends and family in our typical way. And I believe it's creating a lot of strain in people's lives. And it is important that we take this infectious disease seriously and try to keep everybody safe. But it also comes with a cost when we can't be together and see each other in our typical fashion. So through this time, we might find that we're stuck at home with only a select few people. So I don't believe parents have ever spent so much time with their kids, or spouses with each other, or even siblings with each other. And while there's been some interesting positives perhaps come from this time together, it can also be challenging. It can also create some stress, or just losing a sense of appreciation for each other. So it's very important that we bring into our interactions mindfulness. So mindfulness is this intention of being present with our experience as it unfolds moment by moment. So we try to hold the mind in this open, curious, accepting state rather than worrying about what's happening or trying to predict the future. We just try to be present and notice with a kind curiosity. And mindfulness can be brought into our interpersonal interactions. So in interpersonal mindfulness, it's a sense of being fully present during the time you're interacting with another person, which sounds fairly easy, but we are actually rather distracted in the human mind. And in conversation, we're often planning what we want to say next or how we might respond to that comment. And so with interpersonal mindfulness, we work on being very patient in our own piece of that conversation to really practice full attentive listening, eye contact, really being aware of the other person's emotions as you speak with them, trying to recognize that that person has their own thoughts and perception and feelings, and trying really hard to bring compassion into understanding that their experience is valid, as is yours. And through this awareness practice, we also try to recognize our chance for compassion, to realize that this person has some struggle, some pain, or a problem they're expressing to me. What can I do to show that I care enough to try to relieve some of their struggle, some of their hurt? So intention in relationship would be to avoid reactions that include blaming, shaming, being judgmental, or trying to make other people feel guilty. And I love Stephen Covey saying that we seek first to understand, then to be understood. And it's a cue for us to express, say more. Please tell me more. I really want to understand. And to sincerely try to seek out a deeper understanding of that other person's thoughts and experience. However, we need to set boundaries. So we can't just always be in this loving, helpful, compassionate place. We also have to be able to communicate assertively, but not aggressively. I teach all of my families to work on, I feel, I need communication, to be able to say, this is how I'm feeling right now, and this is what I need from you so that this can work better for me. So setting a boundary is really just expressing calmly but firmly, this is okay, and this is not okay with me. Brené Brown says, daring to set boundaries is about having the courage to love ourselves, even when we risk disappointing others. So I really like that language, to find the courage to love ourselves enough to set our boundaries calmly but firmly, and to risk that others might have some struggle with our boundaries. My experience being somewhat of, I guess, an anxious people pleaser through my younger life, and slowly finding more ability to be assertive, to set my boundaries, to speak up for myself, I have just found my relationships get healthier and stronger and more fulfilling over time, the more that I find the courage to have those tough conversations when needed. There's one more concept I'd like to share with you today, and that is this term of mudita, which means sympathetic joy. So we often talk about compassion and empathy and the importance of really being present with other people suffering. But mudita, sympathetic joy, tells us that it's very important to be present and connected with people during their moments of happiness and success. So one thing that they've looked at in research is that it's not as predictive in long-term relationship success how we deal with conflict. It's actually more predictive of that relationship stability, how we deal with moments of shared joy and being able to be grateful and happy, really in a positive state in response to someone else's good fortune. So the idea, I guess, is sort of the opposite of jealousy. So sometimes when someone else had a really good day, or they got a promotion, or they achieved a goal, sometimes it's a little bit threatening to us because you feel like, well, I'm not having that good fortune. And we might feel a little bit of jealousy. And mudita is the ability to kind of be aware of that little sense of jealousy and to be able to fully be present with another person and smile at them and reflect back to them how happy you are for their happiness. So I have two sons who love computer games, and so I use them as an example of mudita because I don't love computer games. I really am completely uninterested. But when one of my sons will come to me and want to share with me, you know, an accomplishment he's had, can I show you what I'm building in Minecraft? I really work hard to stop whatever I'm doing, make that loving eye contact with a smile, reflect back what I'm hearing, and show true sympathetic joy for my son's good experience with his computer game or whatever achievement he feels he has had. And I believe that that is so important in relationship, to really be able to, even if you're not interested in that person's situation, to care about their joy and their happiness and connect with them in this shared sympathetic joy experience. So as we continue to move through this health crisis and this difficult time in history, I think it's an opportunity for us to really nurture our relationships within our family. Certainly, we need to access technology to stay connected with friends, get on these video calls and FaceTime or whatever we need to do to see each other and smile at each other. Perhaps do little sweet gestures of generosity for your neighbors, for your family, to help them, just bringing over a meal or getting them some groceries. And I think within our homes, to practice more awareness, more ability to be present, to really listen, to really try to understand before we work to become understood. So I hope that this will be an opportunity for many families to get to know each other better and to deepen connection and to work on a way of really appreciating and enjoying being at home together with our families. So today we'll do a mindfulness practice. As always, the focus here is to be aware and to get better and better at awareness on the mat so that we can bring this skillfulness out into the real world, so that in these tough moments, and especially as we interact with our loved ones, that we can bring this mindful awareness into those situations and be much more successful, much more able to have those interactions feel good to each party and to hopefully help our relationships feel good too. Okay, so we're going to move into active practice. So I'd encourage you, if you're not on a cushion or a pillow, that you might want to sit up just a little bit higher, just to support your body alignment in meditation. Doesn't have to be much height, just an inch or two makes a big difference at allowing your pelvis to be level, and from a level pelvis, having a nice elongated spine and feeling more comfort as you sit in a cross leg, still and quiet in this meditation. Okay, so wherever you've come to your sitting posture, I always encourage you to connect intentionally through the sitting bones, possibly drawing the flesh of the thighs outward, taking the knees a little bit wide, aligning one foot with the center of the body and the second foot rests in front of the first. You might want to cross the legs a little bit more and just make sure the feet are comfortable under the weight of the legs. So from your chosen position, work on rocking forward gently on the sitting bones so the pelvis feels very level, just like a bowl that's not spilling forward nor backward. From that level pelvis, beginning to rise up, reaching up through the crown of the head, lengthening through the spine. And then from this tall, alert posture, squeeze the shoulders up, draw them back, hands will slide in, and then just allow the shoulders to fall away from the ears, letting go of all effort. Closing your eyes will help you go inward. Otherwise, just keep a soft gaze out in front of you. The sound of our singing bowl is our cue to come into full present moment awareness, taking our first intentional deep breath in from nose to belly. Deep breath in. Complete breath out. Fully emptying the lungs. Again, deep breath in, feel the belly rise on inhale. And a complete breath out. Feeling the belly fall back on exhale. And now beginning to just slow the breath, easing the speed of the air flowing in, and especially slowing the speed of the breath flowing out. Finding that little pause at the top of each inhale and a slight pause at the bottom of the exhale. And beginning to scan through the body, noticing how the body feels from the feet up the legs, from the hands up the arms, aware of the whole front plane of the body, as well as the whole back plane of the body. Allowing the shoulders to be completely relaxed, perhaps stretching the jaw, encouraging any tension to release from the jaw. And allowing yourself the energy of a gentle smile through the face, some loving energy into the eyes, a sense of lift and lightness throughout the face. So becoming aware of our facial expressions through mindful yoga helps us to become more aware of our facial expressions as we interact with others. Noticing if we're tensing the jaw or squinting the eyes or looking at somebody critically. And as we practice softening the face, loving energy into the eyes, that can only help to support the happiness of our relationships. And as you feel that awareness of each breath rising and falling, notice the energy of the mind, of the mood, aware of any thoughts flowing through the brain, and imagining the mind as a blue sky and each thought a cloud that arises. From awareness, able to sweep the mind clear, taking a rest from the thinking function of the mind, bringing awareness back to the breath and back to the body again and again. And just contemplating your emotional place you've been in lately. Without judgment or expectation, just noticing any stress, any anxiety, frustration, and just allowing yourself to rest in the present moment. Just this. Breathing in and breathing out. And as you hold inner awareness, I'd like to share with you a brief writing by Neil Aurelia. How would it be to learn in the joy of each other? Not the shadow, the pain, the scars, the fears of not being understood. My heart says it can be gentler, safer, to learn in this relationship, that we can hold each other as we travel alongside in this life, paths converging for an unknown richness of time and depth. May our hearts know they are safe to open, to show up broken and bleeding, and full of belief that love is about healing ourselves, holding ourselves open and broken and beautiful, ready to be met. How would it be to learn in the joy of each other? Taking a moment to breathe into the heart center, really aware of all the love in your life, all those who you care about and who also care about you, knowing that you are loved and appreciated, and that you have much to give through your own love and kindness, through practicing compassion and even sympathetic joy. A gentle smile as you just savor the knowing that you have a network of love surrounding you at all times. Next, inhale, turn palms to face up. Exhale, release hands to your sides. And on an inhale, begin to float the arms upright, palms turned up, gathering beautiful healing energy. Smile to the face as fingertips touch. And a slow exhale as prayer hands float down the midline all the way to the heart center. Pausing here with thumbs to the heart. And contemplating, setting your intention. Where have you found yourself in autopilot in your relationships lately? Where have you lost appreciation or taken for granted those who mean the most to you? And imagine bringing mindfulness into each interaction, being fully present, deeply listening, making loving eye contact, and being patient with your own responses to really be present, to understand the thoughts and feelings of the other. Working to understand before trying to be understood. And see yourself in moments of frustration or conflict, able to avoid blame, shame, judgment, and guilt, and instead express, I feel and I need, and knowing that helping others understand you is the best way for them to be able to meet your needs. See this becoming instinctive, intuitive, to bring your full presence into those interactions. Take a big deep breath in, big release on exhale. Gently opening the eyes, releasing hands to your legs, taking a moment just to come back to the outer world. So each transition in a mindful yoga practice is about an opportunity to take in the shift, to notice sensation change, to notice visually awareness coming back to you, to notice the breath changing as you move the body in different ways. From here, go ahead and take the legs out in front of you. Give those knees a little loving massage. I also believe that part of yoga's healing is that we're tender to ourselves in the healing yoga practice. We love on the body. We try to honor our limits and find that balance of effort and ease. And I believe if we can practice being loving towards ourselves, we're going to be much more successful being loving towards others in our lives. So just for a moment here, point the toes really low, stretching through the tops of the ankles and shins. Pressing the heels away, draw the toes in towards you, spread the toes nice and wide, lift through the heart to feel some engagement through the back of the legs. And then just rolling your ankles a few big circles each way. Nice release through the ankle joints. Okay, and then from here, go ahead and take your left foot in front of you and your right foot in front of the left into easy pose, Sukhasana. From here, we're going to lean into the right hand, roll the left shoulder open, palm turned up. On an inhale, begin to rise up through that left arm, reach high through that left hand, creating a nice stretch all through those left side ribs. A little more space between the lungs, or between the ribs, making more room for the lungs to breathe. And then inhale, reach. On exhale, turn towards that right knee and begin to slowly bring that left arm down and across. The back of the left hand will brace against the back of the right knee. Right hand behind your hip. Inhale, lengthen upward. And exhale, begin to twist to the right, pressing the back of the left hand into the right leg, really rotating from the low belly, turning the head only gently. Breathe low, using the diaphragm, using the breath to create a nice massage into the abdomen. And then inhale, lengthen upright, unwind, coming forward. Go ahead and take both legs out once more. Set your feet actively here as if pressing into a wall. Draw the toes wide and pull them back towards the shins. Inhale, lift your heart, and then hinge from the top of the hips, beginning to rotate the pelvis forward somewhat. And then from that forward fold, finding your edge. And then softening, tucking the chin down, turning the palms up. Even a gentle bend to the back of the knees is perfectly fine here. Going inward and deepening the breath. Feeling the belly expand with each inhale. And exhaling through the mouth, HA sound. Releasing, sinking in to stillness here. And then fingertips drawn towards you. Inhale, press the hands down as you roll the head up. And then bringing your right foot in, bring your left foot in front of the right. Leaning to your left hand, roll the right shoulder open, palm turned up. And then inhale, reaching up and over, reaching strongly through that right hand, feeling a nice stretch into the right side ribs. Deepening the breath here. And then inhale, reach. Exhale, begin to rotate to the left, sweeping the right arm down. Brace the back of the right hand against that left knee. Your left hand will scoot behind the hips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, begin to twist. Anchoring that hand into the leg, rotating from the low belly. And then deepening the breath here. Practicing that strong diaphragm inhalation. Exercising the respiratory system through a deep breath. And then inhale, lengthen, and exhale, coming forward. Go ahead and continue to cross the lower legs here and come onto your knees. Feet together, knees together into Vajrasana. Always the invitation here to put a blanket under the shins for a little padding, or to put a folded blanket or pillow on top of the heels to lessen any strain into the knees. From here in Vajrasana, roll the shoulders back, palms turned up, and smile to the face. Inhale, rise and gather. Stretch here, but pull the front ribs energetically back, little core work. Inhale, lift. Exhale, turn the palms out, thumbs point down as we internally rotate the upper arms, and then bring the hands to interlock behind you. As you interlock the hands, roll the shoulders back, squeeze the blades together, begin to straighten the elbows and lift the hands off the hips. Inhale, lift your chin, lift the heart, squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. Exhale, drop the chin to the chest. Stretching through the back of the neck. And then little tiny rolls side to side, just a little bit of side to side movement. Inhale, lift the head, bring the hands across to the right outer waist. And from here, inhale and exhale, begin to drop your right ear towards that right shoulder, lowering the left shoulder down away from the ear, coming into a deep stretch into neck and shoulders, and then just moving the head gently forward and back, finding any areas of tension into that left side of the neck. Using the breath to soften tension from the body. And on an inhale, head to center, hands back to center. Squeeze the shoulders together once more, and then bringing hands over to the left side. So hands are to your outer left hip here. Inhale, head and center, and exhale, dropping the left ear towards the left shoulder. Drop the right ear down away from the ear. And then just moving the head gently forward and back. Really tapping into any held tension. Keep the pelvic floor engaged in Vajrasana, a little drawing in and up through the pelvic floor. Energetically squeeze the legs together here. And as you release through the right neck and shoulder region, deep breath in. And exhale, bring hands back to center. Release the hands. Inhale, big breath, sweep the arms up. And exhale, hands in prayer to the heart. Hinge from the top of the hips and come forward, sliding yourself out into your first child's pose. Releasing here, letting go of any effort. You might like to take the knees wide in child's pose, more room for the lungs to breathe. You might like to rock on the forehead a little bit side to side or sway the hips side to side. And then coming to stillness for a moment, turn the palms up, drawing inner awareness. So child's pose, just like our resting forward bends, are always poses where we can practice inner awareness. Noticing thoughts in the mind, sensation in the body, more able to notice the breath flowing in and out. Little smile to the face as you breathe really deeply and feel the belly press into the upper legs, releasing on exhale. And then turning palms down to the mat. Hands are shoulder width apart, fingers spread wide, middle fingers parallel. Inhale, rise to tabletop position. Adjust the knees and the feet so that the ankles, knees, and hips are all in alignment. From here, inhale, lift your tailbone, lift your heart. Start small and gentle with the spine. And exhale, drop your tailbone, release the crown of the head to the mat as you pull the belly in, and then sink your hips all the way back to child's pose. Hold the breath out. Inhale, lead through the tailbone. Extend the heart forward into cow. Exhale, pull the belly into cat and hips to child's. Always feel free to flow at your own breath rhythm. Inhale, lead through the tailbone, rise up into extension. Exhale, flexion. Back to child, pausing with the breath out. And one more round. Inhale, rise up. Pause at the top of the inhale. Exhale. Sink to child and pause at the bottom of the exhale, elongating the breath. And from here, inhale, rise to table. Curl your toes under, and exhale, lift your hips up and back to down dog. Start with bent knees here, focusing on a nice long spine, reaching those hips up and back. And then from here, inhale, come on to tiptoes as you straighten the knees. And then exhale, bend the knees, reaching the belly towards the thighs. Inhale, straighten the knees, narrowing your down dog. And exhale, sinking heels down to the mat. Feeling that deep stretch to the back of the legs. One more time, inhale onto tiptoes, narrowing the top of this down dog triangle. Exhale, bend the knees, belly toward the thighs. Inhale, lift the hips, straighten the knees, and exhale as both heels descend, coming all the way into your down dog position. Make sure your neck is comfortable here. You might want to gaze toward the toes, shaking your head a little bit side to side. Broadening through the shoulders and the upper arms here, and anchoring the hands through the base of the pointer finger. Inhale, float your right leg up high behind you. Big stretch in three-leg dog. And exhale, coming forward for pigeon. Knee comes to the chest, shoulders over the wrists. Set the right knee down behind the right wrist, and then kick the right foot out toward that left hip. Begin to walk your left leg back. And if you'd like, here, always in Pigeon, the invitation to prop a folded blanket or pillow underneath that right outer hip. Otherwise, trying to bring that right lower leg out a bit to the left so that you can find your right hip all the way to the mat. Think about pulling your right hip back and pressing your left frontal hip forward to square the hips. Inhale and lengthen from pubic bone to collarbone, coming into our little back bend here, little heart opener in Pigeon Pose. Gentle smile to the face. Inhale, lift, and exhale, coming forward, hinging from the top of the right hip, perhaps coming down onto the forearms. You're always welcome to stack your hands or your fist to support the forehead. And releasing here for a moment, allowing the body to feel safe into this hip opener. Breathing deeply, nose to belly. And visualizing the breath, creating space in that right hip with each inhale and releasing deep layers of tension on each exhale. Softening the jaw, making sure we're not transferring tension into the face. Following the breath, quieting the mind. Inhale, begin to rise up. Set your hands shoulder width apart. Curl your left toes under, walk the knee in, and bring that right knee back to meet the left. Inhale, lift your tailbone, lift your heart. Exhale, pull the belly in and sink the hips back to child's pose. Keeping the hands active here, palms to the mat. We're just resetting our hips. And then inhale to table. Curl the toes under and exhale up and back to down dog. Finding your full pose here, heels reaching towards the mat, sitting bones lifting up high, broadening through the shoulders. And on inhale, float the left leg up high behind you. Big stretch here in three-leg dog. Exhale, coming forward, knee to the chest, shoulders over the wrists, and then the left knee coming behind that left wrist. Begin to kick the lower leg out toward the right hip, and then walk the right leg back. If you'd like to prop under the left hip for more comfort here, by all means do so. Acts of self-compassion, using our props to find maximum comfort in our poses. Think about pressing that right frontal hip forward. Starting here on fingertips, lifting the heart, little back bend here. Shoulders away from the ears, stretching through the front of the torso. Inhale and exhale, begin to fold from that left hip, coming onto forearms, and finding ease here in Pigeon's pose. Softening all through the face, especially the jaw. And using a visual practice with the breath to create a sense of opening that left hip on each inhale and releasing layers of tension on each exhale. Feeling that left hip begin to soften as we hold a steady awareness in the stretch. And inhale, beginning to come up, gently coming onto the hands. Curl the right toes under, walk the knee forward, left knee to the right in tabletop. Inhale, extend the spine forward. Exhale, pull the belly in and release to child's pose. Really letting go here, turning the palms upright, forehead to the mat. And really letting everything go for a moment in child's. Deepening the breath. The most precious gift we can offer others is our presence. When we embrace those we love with mindfulness, they will bloom like flowers. Thich Nhat Hanh. A beautiful gift to offer our full presence to another. From here, bring hands actively to the mat. Spread the fingers wide, hands shoulder width apart. Inhale to table, curl toes under. Exhale, lift to down dog. Find your full pose. Deep breath in, looking forward, step or hop your feet to the hands. Inhale, swing the spine out, pull the belly in, and exhale, fold into Uttanasana. Standing forward bend. You're very welcome here to sway a little bit side to side. You might like to hold on to the elbows, a little traction to the low back. And you can always bend the knees, protecting the low back from any strain. Make sure the neck is completely at ease. And pausing here for a couple breaths, just so we can allow that blood flow to come to the brain, supporting our nervous system balance, our mood stability. Check that your feet are parallel, hips width apart, just a few inches between the big toes. Inhale, begin to look forward. Bend your knees and hips deeply. And exhale, swing your arms back, pinkies high. Pause, engage those triceps. And then inhale, float the arms forward and up, coming into Utkatasana, chair pose. So here we want to always drop our tailbone down, rock our weight a little more toward the heels, pull the front ribs back, and lift those arms energetically. Really activate energy into the hands. Breathing through the nose, smile to the face as this gets challenging. Trying to resist the mind, reacting with negative judgment. Great job, everybody. Inhale, rise up, big stretch. And turn the palms out, exhale, slowly releasing all the way into mountain pose. Pausing here in transition, noticing any sensation in the body. The effort of the heart and lungs. Perhaps noticing tingles throughout the fingers or even the face as blood flow shifts. A new relationship to gravity here. Okay, we are going to do a low lunge today. So if you like padding underneath that back knee, have a blanket off to the right side of your mat. Check that your feet are parallel. Typically in mountain pose, we want a few inches between the big toes so that these frontal hip bones align with the center of the feet. Drop the tailbone down, roll the shoulders back, open through the heart, palms turn forward. Visual point of focus, looking out onto the world with a loving gaze. And from here, inhale, rise, big sun breath, palms up. Hands touch and exhale, prayer hands down the midline to the heart. Inhale, big breath. And exhale, hands to the heart. And one more time, big sun breath. Smile as fingertips touch. Exhale, prayer hands to the heart, and begin to hinge here from the top of the hip crease. You can always bend the knees if that protects your back. Releasing into Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, pull the belly in. Release the crown of the head towards the earth. Inhale, lift the head. Float the right leg up high behind you. Pausing, and then bend that left knee and step the right foot back into our high crescent lunge. So in crescent lunge, there's a bit of balancing challenge. So make sure you have a little bit of width between your feet, a few inches between the feet in width. We're gonna stay high on those back right toes. Looking forward, get your visual focus. And as you feel steady, rise up. Squaring the hips, we pull that left hip back, press the right hip forward, and find our lunge distance so that the left knee will fall directly over the ankle. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale, prayer hands to the heart. Exhale, roll the shoulders down. And inhale, prayer hands float up. Arms open. Exhale, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, lift, little back bend. Exhale, prayer hands to the heart. Hinge from the top of that left hip as you bring hands down to the mat. Lower the right knee down into low lunge. Sink the hips forward, opening up the front of that right hip. Visual point of focus as you rise up onto the left thigh. Inhale, prayer hands to the heart. Exhale, roll the shoulders back away from the ears. Inhale, prayer hands float up, arms open. Exhale, shoulders relax. Inhale, lift. Exhale, prayer hands come down to the heart. Bring both hands to the inside of that left foot. Setting up for lizard lunge here. Begin to roll to the outer edge of the left foot, opening up that knee, and begin to bend the elbow somewhat, lowering the heart towards the mat. Breathing into that left hip. Another hip opener pose. Inhale, press through the hands, coming back up. Plant the left foot down. Bring your hands back to shoulder width apart. From here, sway the hips back, walking yourself back into our half split. So we're flexing the left ankle, drawing the toes toward the shin, pulling that left hip back. Deep stretch into the back of the left leg. Inhale, walk forward, plant your hands, lift the back knee into a high lunge once more. Deep breath in, and exhale, step your left foot back to the right into plank pose. Plank pose is always optional. It's a challenge. We engage most of the muscles of the body here. We want to balance this strain or this effort in this pose with making sure we can breathe through the nose, keep the breath flowing smoothly, keeping our face relaxed. We never want any looks of torture. That just creates a stress response in the nervous system. So exercise of any kind should be challenging, but never painful. Lift through the inner thighs, press the heart away from the mat. Great job, everybody. Deep breath in, and exhale, begin to bend the elbows and lower onto the belly. You're always welcome to bring the knees down first. Lowering with control. Come to the tops of the feet, walk those frontal hips back. Hands forward, elbows tuck in into our Sphinx Pose. Energetically tug the hands in towards you as you lift and lengthen from belly button to collarbone. Press through the outer edges of the feet. And then from here, coming onto the hands, lift the elbows up. Weave that left hand under the right arm as we thread the needle. Square the shoulders forward as you begin to lower onto that left upper arm. We're going to have the palm turned up on the left hand, face square to the mat, and you can stay here or you can begin to bring that right arm forward onto the fingertips. We're trying to create a deep stretch into that left shoulder and neck region. We tend to hold a lot of our stress, a lot of our self-protective stress response into the neck and shoulders. Deep stretch. On an inhale, bring the right hand back in, press part way up, bring that left hand to meet the right, back into seal, and then bring that right arm and weave it underneath the left arm, palm turned up, coming to the outer right upper arm, squaring the shoulders toward the mat, and then perhaps sliding out those left fingertips. Tucking the chin down. If you want, you can even bring forehead all the way to the mat here. Focusing on releasing deep tension into that right shoulder, all through the outer arm, into the right side of the neck. And on an inhale, begin to come up. Left hand comes in, right arm meets the left. Inhale and exhale, roll yourself down as hands come to clap to the outer thigh, setting up for Locust Pose. Walking the feet in, roll the shoulders back, pinkies are high. On an inhale, lifting the legs, lifting the arms, engaging the triceps. Looking forward and tucking the chin down a little bit to make sure the neck is comfortable here. Inhale, lift, and exhale, turning the head to the right, releasing all the way into crocodile pose. Pausing for full body awareness. Feeling the breath and the heartbeat. Inhale, head to center, roll the shoulders back, Next breath in, lift back into Locust Pose. Perhaps lift the legs a little higher this time. Reach out for those big toe ball mounds. Engaging all the muscles of the back body. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, turning your head to face left, coming onto the right cheek. Releasing completely here in crocodile. Full awareness. And then inhale, head to center. Hands come under your shoulders. Pull the elbows in. On an inhale, use your upper body strength to press yourself all the way up into tabletop. Take a moment for that spine to feel safe and neutralize, and then release the hips back to child's pose. Sinking in here for a rest. Practicing full awareness. Feeling the heart begin to slow and the breath begin to slow. We don't derive strength from our rugged individualism, but rather from our collective ability to plan, communicate, and work together. Our neural, hormonal, and genetic makeup support interdependence over independence. Brené Brown. From here, begin to reach the hands forward actively, palms to the mat, spread the fingers wide. Inhale, rise to table, curl your toes under, and exhale, lift up and back to down dog. Pausing for a breath. Inhale, and then looking forward, step or hop feet to the hands. On an inhale here, we're going to press through the feet, release the arms, keep them energized. Inhale and rise up with strength, coming all the way into Urdhva Hastasana. Reaching the heart, and exhale, prayer hands come down to the heart center. Pausing to notice all the sensation in this transition. Release the hands and inhale, big sun breath, rise and gather. Exhale, prayer hands to the heart. Inhale, big breath with a smile. And exhale, hands to the heart. And one more time, big sun breath. And prayer hands float down as you begin to bend the knees and fold all the way into our Uttanasana position. Release everything for a moment here, crown of the head towards the earth. Next, deep breath in, float the left leg up high behind you. Bend the right knee and step that left foot back into our Crescent Lunge, second side. So again, make sure there's a little bit of width between your feet to help you balance. We're going to stay high on those back left toes. And as you feel steady, visual focus as you rise up. Pull the left hip, or pull that right hip back, press the left hip forward, squaring the hips. Find your lunge so that right knee falls directly over the ankle. And then inhale, hands in prayer. Exhale, roll the shoulders back. Inhale, prayer hands rise up, arms open. Exhale, release the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, lift. Exhale, prayer hands to the heart. Hinge for the top of the right hip. Bringing your hands to the mat, bring your left knee down. Always welcome to pad under that left knee if it's a little bit sensitive on a hard floor. Sink your hips forward. So here that right knee might extend past the ankle, which is fine in low lunge. Really feeling a deep stretch into that left frontal hip. As you feel steady, rise up onto the right thigh. Inhale, hands in prayer. Exhale, roll the shoulders back and down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, soften the shoulders. Inhale, lift. Exhale, prayer hands to the heart. Both hands are going to come to the inside of the right foot. Begin to roll to the outer edge of the right foot as you bend your elbows and bring the heart towards the earth, opening up deeply into that right hip. And inhale, press yourself up, plant the right foot, right hand comes back under the shoulder, and then we're going to walk the hips back into our half squat. So as we pull the right hip back strongly, peel those right toes up, pressing those toes towards the shin, feeling a nice deep stretch all through the back of the right leg. And then inhale, coming forward, plant the hands and lift the back knee into our high lunge. Deep breath in, and exhale, step the right foot back to the left into your plank pose. Again, listening to your inner state today. If you need to rest in child or you want to knee down in table just to stretch one leg at a time, always an option. If plank pose hurts your wrists at all, you can always be up on the fists, or you might even want to be all the way onto the forearms into a forearm plank. Lift through the inner thighs, reach the heart away from the mat. Great job, everybody. Deep breath in, and exhale, begin to bend the elbows straight back. Option to bring the knees down to the mat first as you lower with control onto the belly. Releasing to the tops of the feet. Here we're going to keep hands under the shoulders, squeeze the elbows in, press through the outer edges of the feet. As you inhale, begin to rise up, coiling the spine upward into baby cobra, engaging different back muscles. Deep breath in, and exhale, tuck the chin, come down. Hands are going to come out in cactus, a 90-degree angle into the elbows. And inhale, we're going to lift the legs, lift the arms off the floor into a locust pose with cactus arms. Engaging different muscles again. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bring the hands alongside your hips as you turn the head to the left, right cheek to the mat, pausing in crocodile. Full body awareness here. Quieting any thoughts in the mind. And inhale, head to center. And here we're going to bring either arms back in cactus, or if you want to go a step farther, bring the arms all the way in front of you for a Superman locust pose. On an inhale, lifting the legs and the arms off the mat. So again, either bend those elbows or reach the arms all the way forward, tuck the chin down, reach for those big toe ball mounds. Great job. Inhale. And exhale, sweep the arms to your sides, turning your head to the right, resting on the left cheek. Letting everything go here. Fully aware of the present moment. Aware of the whole body. Inhale, head to center, hands under your shoulders. Inhale, using your arm strength, press yourself up off the mat. Neutralizing the spine before sinking all the way into child's pose. Coming to rest here. Deepening the breath. Feeling the belly press into the thighs. Softening the jaw. Little loving energy into the eyes. Savoring child's pose. Gentleness is powerful. When we use gentle and loving speech, we are able to transform all the anger, fear, resentment, and suspicion in our communication. The whole intention of loving speech is to understand the other person and to be understood. Thich Nhat Hanh. And from here, reach hands forward actively. Inhale the table, curl toes under, and exhale, lift up and back, finding your full down dog pose. Really reaching those hips up and back. Broaden through the shoulders and upper arms. Neck is comfortable. Deep breath in. And exhale, step or hop feet to the hands. Inhale, swing the spine out, pull the belly in, and exhale, fold in Uttanasana. Taking a moment here, allowing everything to settle. And then checking that your feet are parallel, just a few inches between the big toes. Inhale, look forward as you bend knees and hips deeply. Exhale, swing your arms back, pinkies high. Last challenge of the day. Inhale, rise up into Utkatasana. Shoulders away from the ears, hands are energetic. Tailbone down, front ribs pulled back. Smile to the face as you feel those quads get hot. Drop it down. Breathing. Patient through the challenge. Just a bit of sensation here. Great job, everybody. Inhale, rise. And turning your palms out. Exhale very slowly. Floating all the way to mountain pose. Pausing here with palms forward. Roll the shoulders back, lift the heart. Feel all the sensation of this present moment, from your feet grounding down to the crown of your head reaching up. The effort in the heart and the lungs. The feeling of circulation shifting in the body. Choosing a gentle smile to the face. Finding patience as you pause in stillness. Fully aware of the present moment. We're going to cool it down and move towards Shavasana. So you need to grab any props right now, or an extra blanket or a sweater for warmth. By all means, have all of your equipment ready for a nice relaxation. For a mountain pose, I'll have you step the feet wide. Turn the toes out just a little bit. Roll the shoulders back, palms open. And now we're going to internally rotate the arms. So point the thumbs down towards the mat. Come to interlock at the sacrum. Switch your interlock. So put the other thumb on top, the one that feels a bit funny to you. Roll the shoulders back, squeeze the blades together. Inhale, lift your heart, lift your chin. And exhale, begin to fold from the hips. Releasing yourself into Uttanasana with a wide stance, and then begin to straighten the elbows, lifting the hands off the hips, and press the knuckles towards the sky. You might want to shake the head a little bit side to side, trying to release any tension from the neck and shoulders. Really squeeze the blades together here. And then inhale, look forward. Bend your elbows, release your hands, coming all the way down. Heels are going to turn in. Inhale and exhale, begin to lower down into Malasana, into our yoga squat. Elbows can be onto the knees with hips high. You might need to come up on the toes into a froggy squat where you can practice planting one foot down on the mat at a time. But if you can, we've got both feet flat on the mat, elbows to inner knees, hands in prayer. Squeezing that pelvic floor in and up, lift the heart, nice and tall through the spine. Squeezing the knees into the elbows. Use the breath to create space into the hip joints here. Deeply inhaling, feeling a little stretch into the hip joints with each breath in, and completely exhaling. Engaging strong effort into the pelvic floor with each breath out. Nice work, everybody. Inhale, bring hands forward. Walk a hand behind you so you can sit back with control. And here, bring the feet together, knees apart into our bound angle pose. Look for symmetry in the arches. Press the feet into each other. Inhale, lift your heart. Begin to rotate on the sitting bones, tilting the pelvis forward somewhat as you bring the hands down into the mat. And begin to lower yourself into a resting forward bend here in our bound angle pose. Soften the jaw. Relax all effort through the face. A little bit of loving energy to the eyes as you savor the breath. And you might find as you hold this pose that you can go a little deeper. Perhaps inhale, lift the heart, pull the belly in, and exhale, fold, coming even deeper into your bound angle, resting forward bend. And then from here, bring fingertips to the mat. Inhale, roll yourself up. Bring the knees together. And then with some control here, engaging the core muscles, a little tug onto those knees as you lift the heart. Strong core engagement as you resist gravity and begin to lower onto the back body. Bit by bit, lowering down. When it feels challenging, go extra slowly before releasing all the way onto the back. Keeping knees bent, feet to the floor. Squaring the hips and shoulders, feeling strong connection through the back body. Inhale and exhale, pull the right knee into the chest. Begin to slide the left leg down the mat. Straightening that left leg if possible. Strong squeeze into that right leg, compressing all through the ascending colon. And then on inhale, step the right foot onto the left thigh. Begin to roll all the way to your left side. And now your left hand holds the right knee. Your right arm is going to, on inhale, sweep all the way down to the left and then up and over to the right, coming to find your right shoulder also on the mat and perhaps turning your head to the right, away from the knee. Coming into a nice full twist. And on an inhale, head to center, rolling onto your back. Step your right foot down. Step your left foot in to meet the right. Inhale and exhale, squeeze the left knee into the chest. Nice compression there into the left side of the belly. Beginning to slide the right foot down the mat. Coming into a nice deep stretch. Breathe low in the lungs and really feel the belly press into the left thigh. And then inhale, left knee steps to the right thigh. Right hand holds that left knee as you roll to your right side. And now your left arm is going to sweep down, across to the right, all the way up and over as you open out into this twist. Left shoulder to the mat, turning your head to the left, away from the knee. Breathe low. Use the breath to expand the intensity of the stretch into the low back. And then inhale, head to center. Left arm comes down, rolling onto the back body. Step the left foot down, bend the right knee. Squaring the hips and shoulders here. Inhale and exhale, hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice big squeeze. You might want to rock a bit side to side on the back body. And then elbows to the mat, hands to the outer thighs, and inhale, lift the feet up. You're welcome to keep a little bend in the knees here, but you might want to press the heels to the ceiling just for a moment, pull the toes towards you, and maybe point the toes, and then rolling the ankles a couple times each way. And then just finding stillness in the feet, allowing blood flow to come down the legs towards the heart. Helping to bring on our relaxation response before Shavasana. And then inhale, hands in prayer. Open up the knees and the feet, coming into happy baby pose. So hands are going to come between the legs. Reach around for the outer heels, possibly the outer ankle. Looking for a 90-degree angle with our feet facing the sky, our shin parallel with the walls, trying to draw the knees down towards the mat, drawing the tailbone towards the mat. Coming into one last hip opener here. Stretch the jaw, relax the face, breathe deeply. And inhale, bringing the feet and knees together. Exhale, squeeze the knees into the chest. On inhale, stepping the feet down and beginning to straighten yourself out all the way into your Shavasana position. Extending the legs, allowing them to just splay apart. The feet just splay apart, a little wider than hips width. Roll the shoulders back and walk the shoulder blades in towards each other. Palms turned up, or perhaps you'd like to have a hand of the belly, hand of the heart even, as a way to hold awareness to the breath. Finding yourself very comfortable. You might like to take a little folded towel to be a bit of a modified eye pillow to help you get a little more deep into relaxation. You might also enjoy a rolled blanket under your knees or a folded blanket under your head as a pillow. So taking that time to get all of your supports in place so that you can have maximum enjoyment and benefit as much as possible from your relaxation practice in Shavasana. And wherever you find yourself, walk the shoulders in, really feel open through the heart, and take a big deep breath. Big exhale with release. Fully emptying the lungs. And you might even like a little self-massage to the temples, across the forehead, down the jawline, or perhaps just stretch the jaw, encouraging the tongue to fall back at ease. The eyes can fall back, smoothing tension away from the face. Finding that energetic shift towards a little smile. Loving energy into the eyes. Just how your eyes light up when you see someone so precious to you. Following the breath. Feeling the belly rise on inhale, fall on exhale. I'd like for you to bring to mind your social network. Visualize all those who matter to you the most. See the face of each of your family members, each of your closest friends, and smile and open your heart, breathing in deep appreciation for all those who you have the gift of giving love to and receiving love from. Deeply thankful for love in your life. And bring to mind others who are so important to your quality of life. Your neighbors and coworkers, service providers. Bring to mind your larger community, our nation, the whole world. And send out a wish for well-being. May all people everywhere be happy, be healthy, be safe and peaceful. Zoom out in your awareness, connecting to universal, shared human nature. Feel deep compassion for others' pain and struggles. Realize we are not alone in our life experiences. Pain is shared. Joy is shared. Others can understand. And in your visual practice, invite someone you love to join you in a beautiful setting. You might imagine being out in nature, this beautiful spring, with blue sky and sunshine, flowers and chirping birds all around you. And allow somebody dear to you to join you in this space. Feel their presence right next to you. Breathing together in sync, hearts beating together. Just relaxing into each other's presence. Hearts connected. Feeling deep appreciation and love flowing through you and between you with each breath in each moment. Gentle smile to the face as you breathe into the heart center, this knowing that you are loved and that you are able to give the most precious gift of your presence. And as the mind will wander, bring your awareness back again and again, knowing that you are breathing in and breathing out, aware of the whole body, and anchoring the mind to this image of love, of all those who are there for you and you there for them. Savoring this gift of friendship, of loving connection. Breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. Present moment, breathing in. Wonderful moment, breathing out. Just this. Begin to deepen the breath. Feel each breath bringing with it revitalizing energy. Beautiful light flowing into the heart center with each breath. dissipating out to touch each cell of the body. And now, patiently and with full awareness, begin to come back to the body, wiggling fingers and toes, squeezing and opening the hands and the feet, rolling the wrists and the ankles, and moving freely, however feels good to your body. But you might like to take a big full body stretch here, reaching the arms up high as toes point low, maybe interlocking the fingers and pressing the palms away from the crown of your head, or holding each wrist, little side to side body stretch. And here it might feel nice to bend your knees and draw your knees into the chest, squeezing the breath out completely, giving yourself a loving hug. Really thankful that you are well enough to be here today, well enough to experience this mindful yoga practice, this deep self-care. And feel free to take any last movements you would enjoy. If you'd like one more twist, one more happy baby pose, just feeling whatever your body calls for. And eventually come to roll to your right side, pausing again in transition, feeling new touch points, new relationship to gravity. And from that moment of awareness, use your left hand for support. Begin to press yourself up, roll the head up last. Holding awareness inward, find a sitting posture to close our practice. Just a brief closing meditation. Find that strong foundation through your leg position. Connect through the sitting bones. Level the pelvis. And then rise up, lengthening throughout the spine. Roll the shoulders down the back, and perhaps turn the palms upright. These open palms indicating a receiving, a soaking in of our time spent together, and also sending out a wish for wellness to the world. Little smile to the face, love into the eyes as you breathe into the heart center. Holding awareness, noticing all the sensation in the body, feeling the breath flowing in and flowing out, quieting thoughts from the mind, soothing any emotional stress in the moment, practicing presence. And releasing hands to your sides. On a slow inhale, begin to rise and gather. Drawing in beautiful healing light, fingertips touch. And exhale, draw this energy down into the heart center. Pausing here in Anjali Mudra. Coming back to our intention. Taking aim. May we take care of ourselves and approach others with mindful awareness. From awareness, may I get better at practicing kindness and compassion. See yourself taking time to nurture each of your most important relationships. And in those moments of interaction, to bring your full presence. To ask, tell me more. I want to understand. Let me be with you in this experience. See yourself able to catch reactions of judgment, blame, and choosing instead to express how I feel and what I need. Setting your boundaries firmly but calmly, and balancing your needs with the needs of the other. See this becoming the way you navigate your relationships. And knowing that in moments of joy that you can strengthen your relationship by being present in another's good experience or happy moment, and truly offering them mudita, sympathetic joy. I am happy for your happiness. Taking a deep breath in, big breath out. And again, deep inhale, complete exhale. Smile to the face, and one more time, big cleansing breath. Big release through the mouth. We don't always need advice. Sometimes all we need is a hand to hold, an ear to listen, and a heart to understand. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. It's always a pleasure to be in yoga with others, our little community of good energy. So thank you. Namaste. Giving me just a quick moment to sign off and say goodbye. Thanks everybody who came to Mind Balance Yoga today. I hope this practice felt good in the body. I hope it felt good in the heart. I hope that you have a sense of all you can do to make your relationships happier and easier and sustainable over time, even through hard chapters like we're all going through now. So pause, notice, take that deep breath, and from awareness, choose your response. To be kind, to be compassionate, set your boundaries, but do so with a loving awareness. Thank you so much for being here this week. We'll be back for 2 more weeks of live stream Mind Balance Yoga, so I hope I'll see you next time. Thank you.